Brissett to throw on first. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in a sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Indianapolis Colts. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at...
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Indianapolis Colts. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike 51. Come on, D. Mike 51, Mike 51. Rip right. 51, hey, 51.
On second and 9, Brissett, his throw incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
On third down, Brissett. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. His tight end Clay, the intended receiver. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Strong right. Wide. Hey, 2. 1.
Following the interception, Cousins. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. He'll have a first down inside the 10. That good for 22 and a first down.
You can script and diagram plays all you want, but no one really envisioned something like that happening this early in the game. How about that run to get things started? Didn't he win NFC Player of the Week last week?
Yeah, he was on fire a week ago, and what a start to this one.
Yeah, no sign of him cooling down at all.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 19th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. They'll run here with Mack. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd down. Brissett looking deep for Hilton. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Hey, watch out, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Stop your whining. No. Off. What? Hatchet.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And this will be taken at the 13.
Let's go for it. Bring it up.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. From the 25 on 2nd down, Cousins. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it.
Hey, Flipper. Watch the whip. He's checking.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. The linebacker Darius Leonard applied the heat. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing is Cousins. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. He did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
On second down and 4, Brissett. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Intended for his wideout. Brings up 3rd down and 4.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Watch the safety creep.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And some room to work. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 7 on the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, exit. Come on, come on. Find the mic. Ringo. Hey, flipper.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Hey, box truck.
To throw is Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 25 yards that time. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Wow, 54. Mike 54.
Play action now. Brissett looking for Campbell downfield. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for Indy. 47 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Brissett. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Clay that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day.
51's Mike. Mike's 51. It's been a long day for you.
Check 26. Check 12. Hopper. Check 23. Jim.
On second down, it's Mack. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. He's at the 50. 30, 20, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Now the try here for the point after. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
55's Mike, guys.
From the gun, here's Brissett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
Kill. Hey, Stever.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Cousins now at 200 yards already in this first half, and he's not done yet. 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. As the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights. And the rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Throwing on second and long. Cousins. Danico Autry picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Let's go ahead and detail this situation here. Third and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Check. Here we go. Bring the energy. He's coming. Double up. Double up.
Cousins from his end zone on third down. Gonna let it fly for into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sideline, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a second down. To throw, Brissett. Catch made here by Campbell. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, a run by Mack. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Mike 55. 54. Mike 54. So we got 81. Sponge. No. Sponge. No. What are you?
Brissett to throw for it on fourth. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Colts unable to convert here on fourth down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Alert 3, alert 3.
Lucky 48. Hey, no, easy. Hey, echo. Gun. Black. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Rhino. He's checking.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Cook running right. He's got the first down and more past midfield. The 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, touchdown number 22 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. You talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that is demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out, coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I'll bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more.
Vikings 42, Colts 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit. They're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. And his His throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but now it'll be third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Hey, orbit. 48 Mike. Watch the screen. Pass. 40.
Third and long for Cousins. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a fourth on second and goal.
36. Big edge, big edge, big edge. Hey, receiver. 25, check 25.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Vikings 49, Colts 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. On the base. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
To throw again on second down. Brissett going deep for his tight end. And now here's another interception. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. Clay, the intended receiver. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Gun. It comes to me, it's me. 40 yards.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10.
Check 48's the mic. Check. Hey, wahoo.
Cousins now from the 50. The throw complete to Beebe. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Under crunch. No. Rhino. Hatchet. Watch that.
Room here to run. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him in contract negotiations, doesn't he?
They run it again with Cook. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he pushed it. Pushed it from short distance, wide right. It's no good. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Cook following the penalty. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Second and goal at the 8-yard line.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Kill.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now fourth and goal.
It's now 4th and goal.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And his kick is indeed good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Out of the gun, Brissett. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Again, it's Cook. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.